a big weember? Are you a goddamn deember? Are you a dinglinger? Are you a ganglinger? Are you a gangreener? Oh, mama beaner, mama wiener. Are you a dang beaner? Steam a beamer, beam the beamer, beam the tinker, people beamer, mom beamer. Played for 160 hours. Do you like this game? No. I should do another funny review. You know, it's been a while. I gotta check up on my classic. I'm still proud of. I get proud of peculiar things. Like once I put a couple comments on YouTube section, everybody liked it. And I was hilarious. Get thousands of likes. It wasn't like anything so applicable. It was just relatable. I don't remember what it is. Did you have fun? Did Mama have a fun? Did she? Don't do this. Don't do that. What did I do wrong? Okay, I'm sorry. All right, don't get so immediately fast upset. Yeah, you're right. You need to clean up a lot. It's my fault. What'd you say?
Let's roll. Throwing a grenade.
Used to play a whole 160 hours I put into this game.
Let's make this right.
160 hours. That's right. I got the like eternal battle pass and everything. Somebody bought the eternal battle pass for me. Can't remember if it was Brian or not.
These fellas are
But
gonna
I'm
regret
thankful.
waking up this
He
morning.
spent a good $5 on their buddy. Yeah, get crates. I've played this game for 160 hours, Mom. I've never fucking liked this game. This game fucking sucks. Like, when I say this game sucks, I mean this game fucking sucks. Shit. Why didn't I shoot fast? And why did oh, holy shit, I remember why I fucking hate this game. This game sucks. It sucks. But Mama, no. It's like an AI video game nerd feature. With all the features the game.
Counter-terrorists win.
Look at the way this guy's holding the gun. This guy's a nerd. He freaking edited his hands. Look at how I hold the gun. That's the normal way to do it. The other guy, he edited his whole thing so he can hold the gun better, so he can shoot people better. That's what people do in this game. And if you don't do it, you just lose. Every time. That's what I do, Mom. I just lose.
They're gonna wish they were never born.
I wish... What'd you say? Why you gotta say it so aggressive?
Terrorists win.
Shit!
Gear up. We aren't going on a windy walk here. Laying down smoke. Throwing flashbang. Terrorists win. Let's go. Laying down smoke. Incendiary out.
You do. Whatever. Oh, God, fuck. What did you do? I was moving the TV a bit further away and I switched to the dock. Hit it onto my foot. The less flow onto this. Dropped it. To the dock.
Terrorists win.
Honestly, this is a cheap kind of thing. Much better to drop that than the Nintendo. What I did, I dropped the connector.
Let's go, fellas. Smoke.
Hard. It still feels. Sometimes I just feel like there's marbles within my skin. You're gonna think I'm just insane. Whatever. Everybody else does. So sometimes it feels like there's just marbles within my skin. And at times it is acne, and when you pop it, it gets relieved. The pressure and the pus, as Papa used to call it. But sometimes it just gets worse. It re-puffs up. It gets worse than before. Bigger marble. Sometimes good. Sometimes.
Counter-terrorists win.
Great try, great try. You did see the back of his white jacket.
We are out of here. Smoke. Grenade out. Throwing flashbang. Grenade out. Throwing smoke. Deploying flashbang. Flashbang. Throwing fire. Smoke. Laying down smoke.
Oh, you didn't swing him! Great job, great job.
We took the piss out of them.
Proud of you. Alright, I'm going for the huge PP run in there with the shotgun strap.
Move. Throwing smoke. Throwing a grenade. Incendiary out. Grenade. Throwing a grenade. Smoke. Throwing flashbang.
I got killed by Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Are you fucking kidding me? I hate this game. I fucking hate Counter-Strike. I got killed by Call of Duty Black Ops 6. This game is great. Fuck it. Great recoil control, chair.
Counter-terrorists.
Wow, you are incredible.
Scooping us.
Maybe I can be that cool if I play the game 50,000 hours. But instead I'm a loser with a P90.
What on? Laying down smoke. Incendiary. Throwing fire. Grenade out. Incendiary. Deploying flashbang. Grenade. Deploying flashbang.
Flank of the sentry, flank of the sentry, flank of the sentry. One down.
Bomb has been planted.
What? What? I actually had good recoil control for once in my goddamn life, and he just headshot me. Ah! That's okay. Get him next time.
Let's move out. Laying down smoke. Grenade out. Throwing smoke. Flashbang.
Get up, Visa.
Counter-terrorists win.
Move it, move it. Smoke. Laying down smoke. Throwing a grenade. Throwing flashbang. Grenade out. Throwing fire. Decoys out. Flashbang.
Counter-terrorists win.
He was black. It's the last round. We gotta spend it if we got it. We are valor. We are fighter.
Let's give it to them, boys. Throwing smoke.
Something I wish I learned sooner. I don't need anybody else like flashbang.
Incendiary out. Throwing smoke. Grenade out. Throwing fire. Throwing flashbang.
Hit him with the bra. Shit! Bruh, bruh.
Counter-terrorists win.
Now we're getting stuck right into them.
Hit him with the good half, hit him with the good half. Hit him with the good half! Hit him with the good half, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's call my brothers. We will make them regret this day. Smoke! Activating the bomb.
Bomb has been planted.
You hit every single bullet, so you know, I think you won that round.
Bomb has been defused. Counter-terrorists win.
We must move.
Chris Breezy. Chris Breezy. Oh, Chris fucking Christ! God damn it! Why did I fuck? Ah! Why'd I get distracted by Chris Breezy?
Counter-terrorists win.
Is that the hoax? Call of Duty Black Ops 6 has a suspiciously similar profile picture to me.
This is easy. We kill them and then we go home. Grenade out! Smoke! Throwing the
Fuck,
flashbang!
I have the bomb. Shit, why'd I have the bomb? I'm sorry. You saw it. You saw it. Left. Go left. What? Is he not there? Okay, I'm crazy. I'm glad I didn't say anything. I could have sworn the enemy was like behind me.
Counter-terrorists win.
It's all my fault for sure. God damn it. Alright. Yes, it definitely a save kind of round, kind of save. Maybe I'll Zeus him. That'll get the team back up.
We must work together.
Fuck out of here, Master Chief. Okay, let's wake up feeling Chris Breezy. Plenty of time. Don't get got by the same trick twice.
Throwing smoke!
Fucking piece of shit! God damn.
Counter-terrorists win.
Bow, bow. Mama. What's up, girl? Oh, can I use it?
Let's go!
Chicken leg and a chicken leg and a chicken leg, chicken leg, chicken leg.
Throwing the flashbang! Throwing the flashbang!
Yep.
Smoke! I'm planting the bomb. I'm throwing the bomb.
Has been planted.
Oh my god, he's this into the path over there? Like, put it from that corner to that corner? Do you want to do that? For all these chords. All these chords, oh Lord. Oh Lord, and all these chords, oh Lord, oh my God, oh my Lord, oh
Alright.
Lordy, Lordy, Lordy,
Just tell me where
Lordy.
to go, Gabriel. 'Cause I don't wanna.
Shouldn't be dragging all that on the ground. I think that's the perfect spot. Right.
I'm ready.
Perfect spot. Perfect spot.
I'm throwing a flashbang. Throwing smoke. Throwing a flashbang. Smoke. I'm planted. Throwing a flashbang.
Bomb has been planted.
Grenade.
Terrorists win.
We'll wrestle your prey.
I'll lay momentarily
I
on my
wish-
back, but I don't
Mama.
fall asleep on my back. I'm more to the side. Not directly on my side, but kind of like, arm.
You're like,
Let's go, my brother.
That's where I'm most comfortable. But yeah, a few times on my back.
you're
but
comfortable sprawl. I would probably kill 50 men to make it as easy.
I'm throwing a flashbang. Flashbang. I'm throwing a flashbang.
Not my fault. All right.
Terrorists win.
I planted the bomb.
Bomb has been planted.
Together we can do this. Flashbang. I'm planted. Throwing fire.
Bomb has been planted.
Turning out. Throwing smoke.
Got him.
They're both there. They're both there.
Terrorists win.
Hey, alright, I did something good this round. Good job, everybody.
Let us go. Throwing a flashbang. I'm throwing a grenade. Negative. Come on, chop chop. Deploying flashbang.
At least I got the guy.
Terrorists win.
Booty cheeks dead.
Move.
Tragic.
Terrorists win.
Move it, son. Grenade out. Incendiary.
You gotta be shitting me. God,
Grenade.
what can I say?
Throwing smoke. Throwing a grenade.
Terrorists win.
Let's move out. Grenade out. Grenade out. Throwing fire. flashbang.
Counter-terrorists win.
There you go. Right, lads. We're on. Grenade out. Throwing fire. Grenade out. Injury out.
I'm gonna go. Of course. Genius, everybody, genius.
Throwing smoke. Smoke.
Grade A goddamn Zambo is there. Oh, fuck me. Oh, I'm no better. I'm no better. I'm no better.
Throwing flashbang.
Terrorists win.
Move. Grenade out. Grenade. Throwing fire. Throwing flashbang. Throwing flashbang. Grenade out. Escorting the hostages.
Football. There's no way he's in our spawn, right?
The hostage has been rescued.
And we're really leaving it to the
Counter-terrorists win.
what we have been working for. Together we can do it. Throwing smoke. I'm throwing a grenade. Flashbang.
Counter-terrorists win.
Hey, thank God.
He's gonna take you back to the past to play the shitty games that suck ass. He'd rather have a buffalo take a diarrhea dump in his ear. He'd rather eat the rotten asshole of a roadkill skunk and down it with beer. He's the angriest gamer you've ever heard. He's the angry Nintendo nerd. He's the angry Atari Sega nerd. He's the angry video game nerd.
Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. Right off the bat, you want to laugh. I know you do. But think back to the 80s when everybody was into Michael Jackson. Sure, now he's a subject of joke and ridicule, but you gotta remember, I think Dave Chappelle said it best, he made Thriller. Thriller.
Back then, there weren't too many video games where you can play as a celebrity, so that's why it was a big deal. It was based off the arcade game of the same name, which was based off the movie of the same name. It was one of the first games that attracted us to the new Sega Mega Drive, known as the Genesis in North America. NES players like myself looked on with envy when this sexy beast hit the scene. It was black, it was round, and it said 16-bit right on the front, like in your face, bitch! Moonwalker was one of the first Genesis games I ever played. At the time, I thought it was awesome, but other than the novelty of it being Michael Jackson, there wasn't really anything too special about it.
The only question is, are you bad? Are you bad? Let's find out. Who's bad? As it begins, Michael flips a coin in the jukebox and Smooth Criminal starts up. So all you do is go around, kick fairy dust at people, and rescue kids. Yeah, you can't advance to the next level until you get all the kids. Now, I know what we're all thinking here, but really, that's all it is. You're just rescuing the kids.
Michael! 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 Michael!
But who are these kidnappers and why are there so many kids? Why do they all look the same? And why do you have to open doors, look in windows, and spin bushes open to find them? Couldn't there be a better way? That's the main problem I have with this game, is how redundant it is. You can't skip any doors because if you go through the whole stage and miss just one kid, you have to go back. And of course, you're not going to remember which door you didn't open, so you got to open them all again. You have no choice but to stop and check every single door, every single window, and leave no stone unturned, quite literally. Most of the later stages don't even follow a linear pattern. They don't go from left to right or top to bottom. They're all over the place, so you're always going to be confused which spots you already checked. There's one stage where you're checking cars, but often there's a bomb in the car that you can't avoid. You don't even need to get hit by the explosion. The bomb itself hurts you. Even if you check the same car twice, there's another bomb. You have no choice but to check every car, so the only way to avoid the bombs is if you played the game so many times that you can actually remember which cars have kids and which ones have bombs. I'm also not very fond of the kick, because if your enemies are shorter than you, it doesn't help. Like these spiders, or even these dogs. They're such a bitch. Literally. A lot of animal abuse in these games. There's a variety of special moves which are kind of cool. Michael can spin, throw his hat, grab his crotch. Why? Why would they put that in a game? How could they put that in a game? It just seems by tapping buttons, you figure out all kinds of different moves that don't have any purpose. Like if you push up, what does that do? And if you hold the attack button and D-pad in the correct way, then you can actually moonwalk. But again, it has no purpose and it usually results in taking a hit. The special moves drain your energy, and I mean a lot of it. You can make everybody dance, which takes out everyone on the screen, but what's the point of doing that if it drains half your energy? Still, it's worth it just for the amusement factor, and even the dogs dance. There's also an invincibility move, but let me tell you how this works. Every once in a while, a shooting star comes by. It's rare, but if you manage to act fast enough to touch it, this happens. Oh man, he just changed from Michael Jackson to Mecha Jackson, the king of Robopop. It's enough that you're invincible for a brief moment, but you can fly, you can shoot lasers, and you can scatter bombs all over. This is one of the most awesome things I've ever seen. Only problem, you can't rescue kids. I guess they don't respond too well to giant laser shooting robots. The navigation is a pain in the ass. In the cavern, you have to figure out that you can break the walls. If you didn't know that, you're kind of screwed. Every stage seems to have its own rules, but it's never self-explanatory. It took me a while to figure out that I needed to go down these sewers. At first, I thought they were just part of the scenery, because when you push down, nothing happens. You have to know to do the spin. Each stage, after you find all the kids, you have to fight a boss. But rather than the boss just simply appearing, Bubbles comes in and tells you where to go. So naturally, you just follow where he's pointing. But sometimes he points straight up or straight down. And you can't go that way, so you're never sure exactly where you're supposed to go. Finally, when you get to the spot, the boss appears, runs away, and then a bunch of bad guys come out you gotta fight. It's just like a little endurance round. But why can't this happen right after you find the last kid? Why does Bubbles have to lead you around? While this is happening, there's no enemies to fight. There's nothing. You're just walking to the boss. There's no purpose at all. It's like in Simon's Quest when you're walking through Dracula's castle and there's no enemies or obstacles. You just walk down steps and keep on going till you get there. It's a waste of gameplay. What's the point? Also, it's very specific where you have to stand. Like here, the boss didn't come out just because I was on this platform. I have to be on the ground. Also, this boss guy that keeps running away, even though you don't fight him, you can still take damage if you touch him. Here, I'm just walking around, looking for the boss, looking for the boss. Oh, here he is. I didn't expect that. Hey, I can't jump over him. What, I'm stuck? What is this shit? This is bullshit. God, jeez! And when you die during the boss part, you don't start right where you left off. You have to start with bubbles again. What's the point of having to walk all the way to the boss again? Where's the thriller music? Instead, it's another part of me from the Bad album. Why would they go through the trouble of including a graveyard scene in a Michael Jackson game and not use Thriller? I guess if you do the dance move, you'll hear it. No? That's the Thriller dance, but where's the music? Only if I do the dance in stage 3-3, I get a different song, Billie Jean. Apparently, some copies of the game have Thriller and others don't. That makes no sense. At this point is where the game starts to get really hard. Look at all these zombies. You think there's enough? And that's really fair considering I can only attack one side at a time. The dance doesn't help because even if you wipe out every zombie on the screen, there's still like 10 times more on the way. So draining half your energy isn't worth it. Holy shit, there's so many zombies. So many zombies. Oh my god, there's like, stop. Oh, holy god, there's so many. Oh my god.
Gonna take you back to the past to play the shitty games that suck ass. He'd rather have a buffalo take a diarrhea dump in his ear. He'd rather eat the rotten asshole a roasted duck and down it with beer. He's the angriest gamer you've ever heard. He's the angry Nintendo nerd. He's the angry Atari Sega nerd. He's the angry video game nerd.
It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's a shitty game. Superman for the Atari 2600. I'm playing it on the 7800 just for variety. But anyway, what can be said about Superman? He's one of the most famous superheroes of all time. Even the word super's in his name, a word that implies excellence, outstanding quality, and brilliant divine magnificence. Yeah, this sucks. But I'm not going to critique the graphics or the sound or anything like that. It's just that, you know, what? Like, seriously, what's going on here? From what I understand, you start off as Clark Kent, which is pointless. You just walk to the right, a bridge explodes because of Lex Luthor, so you go back to the phone booth, you turn into Superman, and the rest of the game you're just flying around looking for all the pieces of this bridge. You also have to carry a bunch of bad guys off to jail. And if you get hit by kryptonite, you lose the ability to fly, which can only be regained if you touch Lois Lane. There's no way to die. The whole game is based around the clock. It's all about getting the fastest time. But the only thing that'll eventually happen is you'll throw the game out the window faster than a speeding bullet. The navigation is dreadful. If you fly up, you just see more buildings, and that makes sense, right? On the top of the buildings are more buildings, and it just keeps on going. There doesn't even seem to be any boundaries. Everything just repeats. If you press the button and move the joystick around, it shows you all the screens around you. Yeah, it's like X-ray vision. That is, if X-ray vision means seeing into the next imaginary Atari space. Have you ever heard of an Atari game that needs a map? Well, this is one of them, but to tell you the truth, I don't think it would help because nothing makes any sense. Like right here, I just keep going up, and all it does is just change colors. I can't figure this out. So, let's move on to the NES, a Superman game for the Nintendo Entertainment System. How could you go wrong? Well, first of all, you get this lousy music, which isn't even the Superman theme. Then the Statue of Liberty starts talking to you. Can somebody explain this to me? Is there any reason why the Statue of Liberty has to talk to Superman? I'll watch over you? Is it a guardian angel or something? Is there something I don't know? Like, what kind of drugs were they taking when they came up with this shit? So again, you start off as Clark Kent, and you're at the Daily Planet talking to people. Hi, Clark, your favorite Cub reporter Jimmy here. Say cheese, click. Okay, what was the point of that? You know, it's really annoying that there isn't any way to cancel these dialogue boxes or speed them up. And why is everyone wearing green? Is it St. Patrick's Day or something? Why are the telephones as big as the desks? Or hell, why are they half as big as the people? Or no, if they're in the background, that makes them even bigger. What a strange looking office. And who wants to play as Clark Kent anyway? The first real problem is trying to get used to the controls. It's another one of those games where up is jump. And why do you jump so high? I mean, look at this. If somebody actually jumped like that, it would be like 20 feet in the air. I know he's Superman, but if he's trying to be Clark Kent, he can at least act like it. But anyway, the B button does nothing, and the A button just fidgets around. What's wrong with them? If you do it in the air, he like floats. Oh my God, somebody call an exorcist. So your main objective at this point is just get out of this room. You go out the door, right? Well, of course it seems pretty obvious, but take a guess how to open the door. Seriously, take a wild guess. B, no. A, no. Start, no. Select, no. Up, no. Up only jumps, so you have to hit down. I never heard of a game where down goes through the door. Alright, well now we're really starting to suck some shitballs. Right away, there's people outside trying to kill you. I don't know what kind of grudge anyone would have against Clark Kent, but anyway, you go into this phone booth and turn into Superman. What is this? This is the most pathetic excuse for Superman I've ever seen. On the title screen he looks okay, but why in the game does he look like this? Your basic attack is some kind of weird close-range fireball. I don't know. I think he's supposed to be punching people, but it's just weird. Then you have a menu with special superpowers, each with their own energy bar, much like in Mega Man. Most of these special attacks don't seem to do anything. I assume that there's specific parts in the game where they all come in handy, but for now, I really don't know what to do with any of them. If you use Super Flight, all it does is make Superman fly up into the air. You watch that for a little bit, and then he comes back down. So, okay, what was that all about? I found certain spots where if I use it there, then he'll fly over the city and end up at another part of the game. Now, I'm sure that that's what you're supposed to do, but I'm still not sure why sometimes he just goes up and comes back down, so I haven't really figured that out, and honestly, I don't care. You have a map screen which seems like it should be self-explanatory enough, but there's times when you have to use a subway train. Oops, you can't ride the subway with no pass. What, are you kidding me? He's Superman. He needs to buy a fucking ticket? It's like, yeah, we know you're trying to save the city, but you still need to pay for your ride. Why does he even need to use the subway? Can't he just fly? Why go underground? That's the complete opposite of flying. That's like if Spider-Man wanted to go from building to building, he'd just go down to ground level and then just walk. That's the stupidest idea I ever heard. And when you eventually get a ticket and ride the subway, why is Superman so small compared to everyone else? Is he a 5-year-old kid? It's kind of creepy, these tall guys in shadow. It's like, watch out, or they might be kidnappers. Why are they dark anyway? They don't look like anyone else in the game. Speaking of which, none of the people in this game have anything interesting to say. Here's just one random spot, so let's take a look and just see what people have to say here. Got any news? Okay, well, that was real informative. Let's see what he has to say. I know nothing at all. Well, that sums it all up. Alright, well, let's just talk to one more guy. Oh, get the Roman number 2, whatever that does. Hey, what are you doing? You see, I rest my case. There's no reason to talk to anybody. It's like in Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest. The whole game is full of people who tell you things that don't make any sense or have any relevance with the game. For example, this old woman tells you not to look into the Death Star or you'll die. Well, the Death Star is nowhere in the game. Both of these games were released in 1988. Now that must have been the year of people talking and not making sense in video games. Haven't you seen the movie Superman? Yeah, I did actually. It's nothing like this garbage. So I'm just running around without much of a clue where I'm supposed to go. I'm killing these weird green-headed alien sort of things. I don't know. Ugh, and that music. Then I finally come to some kind of boss character, a woman I guess with a whip and a deformed head. So I'm trying my best, but the control is so awkward and I just keep getting hit. And if your super power meter gets low enough, you turn back into Clark Kent, which is annoying, but at least you can still fight. So I stay back and I keep using that punch attack, and finally she dies, and we get the newspaper headline saying Superman defeats Zod Gang. Wait a minute. The Zod Gang? If you've seen the movie Superman 2, you probably know who General Zod is. That's not Zod. You mean her? Zod Gang? Where's the rest of them? I don't know, but anyway... What? Daily Planets? Isn't it just the Daily Planet? I don't know. I've had enough with this. Wait a minute. Stock market panic? Stock prices fall? What are we talking about? Stocks now? Find out why stock prices have fallen. You'll learn about stocks at the stock market. Okay, that's the goal here? To go to the stock market? Oh my god. Do you remember being a kid? You remember playing Nintendo? What kind of things were you interested in? Comic books, video games, the stock market? Yeah, do you think any kid playing this game gives a shit about the fucking stock market? Why? Why make a game that has anything to do with stocks or taxes or politics? You just don't do that. It's like, what were they thinking? Stocks? I just can't, oh god, what a shitload of fuck. That's enough for me. This game is just so awful that it can't be explained. I can review it for another hour and it won't make a difference. It's an unreviewable game. Cannot be done justice. If you want to play it and see for yourself, I dare you. But just one warning, you will not be happy. Oh wait, this guy here just gave me a password? What's that for? Like if I want to continue here where I left off? Well, that's completely useless. There's no way I would ever need this password, and you want to know why? Because I'm never fucking playing this game again in my life! That's it. Superman is doomed. What is it about Superman that just spells shit? It's like they couldn't make a good Superman game. But there's one in particular that everybody wants me to review. So here's a typical MySpace message. And that game is, drumroll, dramatic silence, Superman 64. You should do a review on E.T. or Superman 64. I have a special demand. No, a big demand. Do you ever think you can play more than 4 minutes of one of the worst N64 games ever, calling Superman? I'd love to see you review Superman on the N64. Could you review Superman for the Nintendo 64? Dude, you should comment on Superman 64. Ever heard of Superman 64? You should review Gulp's Superman 64. I really think you should consider either E.T. for the Atari or Superman 64. Play or make a video of Superman 64. Can you do a review of Superman 64 on AVGN? So please do a review of Superman 64. That's right, Superman 64. Do you need a copy of Superman 64? I'll donate Superman 64. I think you should do Superman 64. I want to know if you ever played Superman 64. Superman for the N64. Superman on the N64. Superman 64, 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 Superman 64! Well, damn. Well, you want it? You got it. Next review is going to be Superman 64.
This is oblivious. It is probably a fake.
take you back to the past. He's gonna take you back to the past. To play the shitty games that suck ass. He'd rather have a buffalo. Take a diarrhea dump in his ear. He'd rather eat the rotten asshole of a roadkill stump and down it with beer. He's the angriest gamer you've ever heard. He's the angry Nintendo nerd. He's the angry Atari Sega nerd. He's the angry video gamer.
Okay, the wait is finally over. This is the review that everybody wants to see. Here it is, Superman on Commodore 64.
Yeah, that's what you mean, right? The Commodore 64? It was one of the best-selling home computers from the 80s. The games came on floppy disks. Remember those? The ones that actually are floppy? Let's pop this fucker in, turn this son of a bitch on, and play some Superman. Well, this is a startup screen. You never know what to do unless you have the instructions. You gotta type load, parenthesis, asterisk, parenthesis, comma 8, comma 1, and then return. And then it goes to black, and a few seconds later it says, now loading Superman. At least that lets you know you did it right, but then you gotta wait for the piece of shit to load. You remember those early CD-based game consoles like the PlayStation, and you'd always have to wait for everything to load? Well, it's nothing like that. This thing actually takes 2 minutes and 7 seconds. Yeah, I timed it. Then the title screen starts up with the music, and you're like, wow. But wait, what the hell's this? Type in the character that appears in column 9, row 10? Oh, come on, I gotta get the code card. Yeah, the code card. Match up the damn numbers, and there you go, it's 5. Why do I gotta do that? So you pick your difficulty, and then guess what? It's gotta load again. 54 seconds this time. Not long, but seems like an eternity. So anyway, you get this comic book storyline thing, and then you son of a bitch. Probably 2 weeks later, when you finally start playing the game, you'll be surprised that the graphics are quite decent and the gameplay is self-explanatory. You just fly around and shoot stuff. You don't have to be Clark Kent and find subway passes or any bullshit like that. So it's actually better than the Nintendo version. But that's not saying much. That's like saying the shit that I took last night was better than the shit I took the day before. Controller's a piece of fuck, but at least it's one of those kind where you can plug in most of the Ataris or the Sega Genesis controller. Isn't that amazing? The first level has a 3D perspective. The second level, you're protecting a space shuttle from a bunch of asteroids. This one's more like a 2D shooter. The third level's like a side-scroller, so it has some variety. But this has got to be one of the most annoying stages in video game history. Every time you get hit, you fly back. Fuck. Fuck. Fuck! Fuck! It's enough of this shit.
But wait, this isn't what you want to see, is it? Nah, you want to see this, right? Oh, come on, you really want to make me play this? Well, I'm going to do it just for you, because I like you a lot. Now don't take that too serious. Here it goes. I'm turning on the... Really, this isn't what you want to see, is it? Nah, you want to see this, right? Oh, come on, you really want to make me play this? Well, I'm going to do it just for you, because I like you a lot. Now don't take that too serious. Here it goes. I'm turning on the power.
First, you're greeted by a smile.
Just for you, because I like you a lot. Now don't take that too serious. Here it goes. I'm turning on the power.
First, you're greeted by a smiling cartoon fox. Titus? What the fuck is that? Well, the official title of the game is just Superman, but probably because of the Nintendo 64's tradition of putting 64 at the end of so many titles, it's no wonder that it got that reputation. The first thing that bothers me is the stock music. Why not the Superman theme? You know, the John Williams one? Why don't any of these games have that? Immediately as the game begins, you have to start flying through rings. I don't even have any time to get used to the control. You think that as soon as the game starts, you'd have a little free range, you know, to fly around and explore. But no, you gotta fly through rings. And you can't fuck up. If you miss more than, I think, 3, I don't know, sometimes it's 2 and sometimes it's 4, so I'm not sure. But basically, if you miss a few of these rings, you go back to the beginning. And you keep trying it over and over till you get it right. And on top of that, there's a time limit. And being that this is the first part of the game, you'd think that the time limit would be a little lenient, but no, it gives you just barely enough time to get through all these rings. You gotta be perfect. Looks like I'm doing a real shitty job, but the control is awful. You have to be very specific with the joystick or else Superman takes a dive in the wrong direction. And then when you try to make a sharp turn, he just goes all over the place. You all probably know better than I, and it goes without saying, but this game is horrendous! And you know what the most pathetic thing about it is? This game isn't even 10 years old! Just barely. You'd think by 1999 there'd be some kind of quality standard. What? I'm stuck? How the hell am I stuck? I'm underneath the bridge. Looks like Superman stroking his super dick. So, naturally, when a game gives you a time limit, you're in a hurry. You can't approach any of these rings with care and patience. You gotta keep moving. If you miss a ring, you have the option to turn around and try to get it again, so there's no strike against you unless you skip to the next ring. So basically, you have to go through all the rings in order. But if you miss one, the time it takes you to turn your ass around and go back through, you already wasted too much time, so it's almost the same as just missing the ring. You have to keep flying. If you stop and bullshit around, then you're not going to make the time limit. See, I just fucked around too much, so I might as well just give up and kill myself. You see that building? I'm just going to crash into it. Well, that didn't do a damn thing. You mean you can't die? Well, absolutely not. You're just stuck in limbo until the time runs out. The only thing worse than an impossibly bad game is not even being able to kill yourself. What's with the punching? Do I actually get to punch people somewhere in this shitload fuck of a game? I guess I'll never find out, but why are these punches so awkward? You gotta be kidding me. I'm stuck again? I'm nowhere near the wall. Look how much room. Look how much room. How can I be stuck when there's so much room? 15 seconds and I'm almost there. Almost there. Oh, fuck, Mr. Ring. Oh, come on. Can't even give me one more chance? Oh, man, what is he doing? Exercises? This is so ridiculous. This game isn't just bad. It's really bad. I'm not even kidding around. It's fucking horse shit. Almost there. Less than 10 seconds. Come on. I can just barely make it. Look, there's the last ring. Fuck ass bitch cunt fart. I can't believe it. There was only one ring left. Oh, this is ass. This is really ass. Oh, look, this time I'm gonna do it. It's 4 seconds. Shit. Yeah. No, that didn't count. So finally, when I get past the rings, instructions flash on screen, then go away. What did it say? Something about cars? You're not even given enough time to read it. Oh, it's over already? What was I supposed to do?
There's no time to waste.
What? I don't even get to try again? I'm back at the fucking rings again? I can't believe I'm playing a Superman game where all you do is fly through rings. At first, I thought this was the training mode. Yeah, you know, like to test your accuracy. Lots of games have that. Remember Star Fox on the Super Nintendo? There's a training mode where you have to fly through rings. But even then, you don't have to go through all the rings. It's about how many you can get through in a row. In the actual game, you're flying around shooting at enemies and dodging obstacles. So what the hell is this shit? You should be fighting bad guys, not testing your flight skills with some of the worst control accuracy ever in a video game. But it actually does have a practice mode. Out of curiosity, I tried it out just to see what it is, and guess what it is? Going through rings. Yeah, what'd you expect? So once again, I'm at the next part. The message flashes on the screen for barely a second, and then you have 6 seconds to do whatever. Fuck. Back to the rings again. You know, if I had 2 consecutive chances, I might be able to figure it out. But instead, I'm too surprised when I finally get there to act in 6 seconds and with no time to read what it's telling me to do. And am I really doing this? Is this a Superman game? Flying through rings? Is that the best they could come up with? That's like if they made a Batman game where all he does is just play hopscotch.
This looks like a job for Superman.
Okay, time for the 6-second car stage again. Get off! Get off! Here we go. Got the car. Now what? Oh, the timer reset to 11. That's weird. But what do I do with the car? Okay, so there's another car coming. Can I stop it? Oh, this is the shits. This is the shits. Basically, you gotta pick up both these cars and throw them before they hit the people. But guess what's after that? More rings! And after that, you gotta pick up a police car and carry it to the goal. I'm starting to notice a pattern here. You go through rings, pick up cars, go through rings, and pick up cars. So I get to the goal, and guess what's next? Seriously, I want you to just take a guess what comes after this. More rings? Yeah. What kind of game is this? Is this some sort of insanity test? Well, I'm done. I'm sorry, but that's all I can do. This game doesn't even qualify as shit. It's like the equivalent of shit taking a shit. This is unspeakably, shockingly bad. It's sickeningly loathsome. It's a fucking suffering to the mind. It's a bunch of fuck and it doesn't belong on this planet. Somebody's gotta take care of it. This is a job for the fucking nerd.
He's gonna take you back to the past to play the shitty games and suck ass. He'd rather have a buffalo take a diarrhea dump in his ear. He'd rather eat the rotten asshole.
Angry video game nerd, Superman 64. AVGN Superman 64.
Use ExpressVPN, but on side it's
He's gonna take you back to the past to play the shitty games and suck ass. He'd rather have a buffalo take a diarrhea dump in his ear. He'd rather eat the rotten asshole of a roadkill skunk and down it with beer. He's the angriest gamer you've ever heard. He's the angry Nintendo nerd. He's the angry Atari Sega nerd. He's the angry video game nerd.
Time to do a super game. Super Mario 64. No! That's right. It's back. I already played this game. I already showed you how bad it is, but it gets worse. Much worse. First, a little background. I complained already they should have used the Superman theme, you know, by John Williams. But I didn't know at the time this was based on the Superman animated series. It was the second in what's often called the Timverse, or DC animated universe, which consisted of the highly acclaimed Batman the Animated Series, the new Batman Adventures, Batman Beyond, Static Shock, the Zeta Project, which absolutely no one remembers. Then finally, Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, with a few features sprinkled here and there. Superman the Animated Series helped bring a lot of the mythology from the comics to a whole new audience. Characters who are often excluded from previous TV or film incarnations finally got more attention and have since gained popularity and shown up in other shows and movies. It was regarded as a great series, so it's surprising it led to one of the worst games ever made.
Alright, enough of the history lesson. Let's get on with this shit. So, here's an interesting detail I missed before. The story of the game is that Lex Luthor has hidden Lois Lane, Jimmy Olsen, and Emma Hamilton in his virtual world. That's right, this entire video game takes place inside a video game. You'd think a genius like Lex Luthor would use his ability to create anything in a virtual world and come up with some crazy obstacles or enemies for Superman to face. So what did he decide on? You know. Rings. Yeah, not messing around this time. So picking up from last time, after another round of rings, I have to fight a few shadow men. Alright, I'm gonna land and just punch them. No, I can't land because they're under me. Oh, and now I'm through the floor? And then oh yeah, of course. I should have expected something like that. These guys are not hard to take out, but I can't land. When you're not flying at full speed, you just hover. I can't get to the last guy in time. Ah, fuck! Finally, I'm able to punch all of them and get through another round of rings, and then I end up having to save 3 people from tornadoes. This should be really easy. You should just be able to use your super breath. No, he has no super breath. He just blows. Oh, you have to collect your superpowers. Oh, okay. So I get the super breath, I go the tornado, but I can't slow down in time. By the time I activate my power, the tornado's too far away and kills people. One time I was lucky enough to get both tornadoes in time at the right point and blow them away. But guess what? These tornadoes come back as the final boss in another Superman game. Now I'm in sort of a dam. Goddamn dam. These levels are nothing but mazes full of backtracking. You gotta throw robots and cardboard boxes into lasers, find the key card, go back to the beginning, flick a switch on a computer, blow up more robots, avoid a giant electric eel, drain the dam, and then a guy tells you to disarm some bombs before the clock runs out. Gee, where have I heard that one before? Luckily, you could pick up the super speed power-up. That should help. Oh dear. Where am I? The Phantom Zone? Oh, gee, and you have to start the whole level over because there's no checkpoints. On the way to the bombs, you have a boss fight with Mala. She was like the cartoons version of Ursa from Superman 2. All right, here we go. Get ready for this epic boss battle. Well, that was anticlimactic. You know it's bad when the level enemies are harder than the boss. Let's see what's next. What could possibly follow that up?
Then there's no time to waste.
No. No way. Oh no. They move! Why do they have to move? Oh, wow! Yeah, they really changed it up! You know, it's a scary thought. What if this was some kid's first exposure to Superman? Maybe they got the game for Christmas or their birthday or something. They hear about this awesome guy who can do anything, and then they pop the game in, and it's nothing but fucking rings! This would ruin the character of Superman for anybody. If the rings weren't enough to do it for you, this weird 3D face will. Well, this is the ugliest digital Superman face I've ever seen. Second ugliest. Alright, now I'm at this puzzle, yeah, a puzzle, where I have to use different computers to make these letters say Luthor. I'm sure there's probably some pattern or strategy, but all I did was keep clicking until it got solved. Not sure how I did it, and I don't care. Now we get to Luthor's office where we fight Brainiac, one of the most badass Superman villains. He let Krypton die, has knowledge from worlds all over the universe, can shoot blasts of energy from his hands, and once mind-controlled Batman. This is definitely going to be a good boss fight. Is it too much to ask for? Just to have one decent boss fight? I mean, the levels are so complex. I mean, don't you think a good boss fight would have made it all worthwhile? Well, somebody didn't think so. Hey, you know what? At least it's not rings.
Then there's no time to waste.
Fuck! You want to know the worst thing about these ring levels? Right when you're getting the hang of it, the game will glitch and send you flying across the map for no goddamn motherfucking reason. So you have to backtrack or restart. The next level, you have to save Lois from Metallo. It's more the same. Throw boxes, kill shadow people, fight robots, figure out bullshit puzzles. The hard part's when you have to escort Lois out of the level. You'd think it'd be easy. Just pick her up and fly, right? No. She has to run. Oh, did I say run? I wish. She sprints for a second, gets to a hallway, and then slowly strolls the rest of the way. Move! Move! Oh, come on, move! You can't even run ahead just a little bit and take out some shadow guys before she reaches them. If you get too far away, a shadow guy will spawn in front of her. And I'm so sick of saying shadow guy. So you're forced to watch her take every step toward the exit, which feels like it's 10,000 miles away. Okay, time to fight Metallo, a cybernetic creep with the brain of a mercenary and a heart made of kryptonite. Let's see how much of a challenge he is. Again?
Then there's no time to waste.
Again? So then you get to this parking garage stage, and it's a huge pile of ass. No, really, this thing is a shit behemoth. Really, it's like a moldy turd. I'd rather be impaled by a piss icicle. On top of that, there's a time limit and kryptonite that's slowly killing you. Ooh, time to take on Darkseid. Now, he's the strongest of Superman's opponents in the cartoon. So, let's see what's gonna happen here. Ooh boy, this is gonna be some serious shit. Glitched again. Now I gotta play that whole maze all over. Oh man, this game is such shit. I'd rather lick the asshole of a Thanagarian snare beast. So rinse and repeat. Here we go. Darkseid again. Oh wait, I have that heat vision. Let me try that. Okay, this is working. All right, I'm gonna have to use my fist here. Oh, okay. Come back. Oh, there he is. All right, I got him. Oh, wait a minute. Huh. I have to drag him to the police now. Yeah, Darkseid, the ruler of Apocalypse, commander of armies of parademons, a new god who can shoot omega beams from his eyes, is just gonna go to the regular police. Yeah, throw him in a cell with Bruno Mannheim. He'll be fine. And then after another round of rings, yeah, you know, I'm getting used to it at this point. I get this level where I have to rescue Emil Hamilton from Parasite. This level is actually pretty decent. The map is smaller, and the directions are more clear and precise. Also, you defeat the boss in a clever way. So all in all, it's a pretty decent level. There's only one problem. I keep falling through the map. Look at this! I broke the boundary! I'm on the outside of the game looking in! Break the boundaries of existence. Superior gameplay lets you exceed the laws of physics. Superman 64 is 64 times the awesome! So after that, you do more rings, big surprise, and then we're at a Subway. Not the fast food place, but the actual Subway. And it's the same stuff you'd expect. Flying around aimlessly, backtracking, yada yada. But then it turns into a real shit show when you have to do another escort mission. And this guy is worse than Lois. When enemies are close, you have to make sure he doesn't get hurt. So how do you keep him safe? By using your super breath and encasing him in ice. Well, I've seen Superman do lots of crazy things, but putting them in ice? Like, how do they breathe? How do they stay alive? Why am I asking you? Look at this shit. The guy gets to the exit, he thanks you, and you think that's it. But then he gets attacked on his way out and I can't go past the door. The only thing I can do is escape through the ceiling and hope the level ends before this guy gets killed. So here it is, the final ring level. But it's the worst of them all! There's rings underwater that go below the map, there's moving rings, there's even multiple ring paths that lead to false exits. Now that is just cruel. In a normal game, this might be challenging, but not when the controls are so broken. Ah, fuck! Fuck! Ass! Ugh. I can't do it. I need help. I need guidance. I need to learn to fly.
Where did you learn to fly?
Geez, that's a face I didn't miss.
Where did you learn to fly?
Not from playing Cybermorph, I can tell you that.
Where did you learn to fly?
I don't know. Top Gun Academy?
Where did you learn to fly?
I wish you'd ask Superman that. He can't fly for shit in this game.
Where did you learn to fly?
Actually, when preparing for this review, I looked into when Superman first flew. Early in the comics, he couldn't fly, but instead jumped really high. The earliest appearance of him flying was in Superman number 10. The artist working on the issue wasn't clear about Superman's powers and thought he could fly. So his first flight was by accident. It was quickly corrected in the next issue, and the next time the character flew was in the radio show. Finally, Superman would fly on screen in the old Fleischer cartoon. In both cases, his power of flight was given to him simply because the people making them really wanted to.
Where did you learn to fly?
I guess Superman never really did learn to fly. It was just a combination of dumb luck and people wanting him to fly.
Where did you learn to fly?
I know what you're saying. I don't really need to learn to fly through these rings. I just need to want it and hope for the best.
Where did you learn to fly?
Well, thanks for the encouragement, talking head from Cybermorph. Hey, I'm sorry I shot you with the Super Scope and called you an asshole that one time.
Where did you learn to fly?
All right. What the hell's this? I'm gone 5 minutes and already I have 4 replacements? Get out of here! Yeah, here we go. Here we go! Oh, I beat the rings! I beat the rings! No more fucking rings! But the nightmare isn't over yet. The final level takes place on Brainiac's spaceship, and it is the biggest pain in the ass you can imagine. I wish I could reverse the world's rotation and go back in time to destroy the computer this game was designed on. You have to find 12 pieces of a machine scattered all over. And the whole time, you have robots, crab people, and little tanks trying to mess up your day. And if you find all the pieces, Brainiac sends you to a room full of teleporters. The goal here is to get the numbers to add up to 2,000. And like the Luthor puzzle, I have no idea what to do, so I'm just gonna mess around. Sometimes I get the combination quick, other times the clock runs out and I lose. After that, you have to escort Jimmy and Lois to safety, and these idiots just stroll into a room full of lightning. You have to freeze them again and push them to safety, but be careful because you might push them off a bridge. After saving Lois and Jimmy, you have to fight Brainiac again. And if you're expecting something really exciting, well, you should know better by now. Once he's down, you destroy some bombs, and of course, another ring. Just kidding. Superman brings his friends to the real world, and Luthor gets away. I am so happy to be finished with this, I'm gonna ignore that the camera is having a seizure. You wanna know something else that's a real kick in the ass? In recent years, a ROM of the game surfaced, which was of the unreleased PlayStation version, and it actually looks alright. The levels look unique, the bad guys look cooler, the controls don't seem great, but it looks like they work. According to Titus, after all the changes they were forced to make for the Nintendo version, their license ran out and they couldn't release it. Instead, we got this rancid anus tart of a game vomiting green rings in our face. No! Please don't! Don't hurt the good, innocent games! Thanks for watching this episode of Angry Video Game Nerd on Spawn Games. Spawn is a story of hell on Earth, but the real hell on Earth is your unencrypted private net exploring.
He's the angry video game nerd.
What? Where am I?
Mellow greetings, nerdy wordy.
What the hell?
Oh, hell is right. Sorry to break it to you, nerd, but you're dead. You're fucked. F-U-K-T. Fucked.
Okay, I get it. The dragon and immortal got me. But why am I dressed so badass?
You are one fashionable male. Let me... Fucked.
Okay, I get it. The dragon and immortal got me. But why am I dressed so badass?
You are one fashionable male. Let me remind you. When you died, you came face to face with the devil. He decided you have to live out the rest of your eternity inside your most hated game, Jekyll and Hyde. You flipped him off and told him you didn't deserve that torture. So he presented a challenge. If you can beat all the Spawn games, you will be allowed to leave hell. But if you lose, you're stuck in Jekyll and Hyde forever. You accepted and were transformed from the angry video game nerd to the satanic video game Spawn. And that leads us to where we are now.
Okay, well, let's play these shitty games.
No, not so fast. We're gonna play them in the most vile, despicable game room ever imagined by a hell. It'll break a man's soul in a second. Ready?
Huh? This is it?
Truly terrifying, right?
I actually spend most of my days in a room exactly like this.
Really?
I mean, it's like spot on. It's the exact same thing.
You even have the shelf of all the ET games?
Yeah. In fact, I think mine actually has a little bit more.
What about the Aladdin Deck Enhancer and all the games?
Yeah. In fact, I actually played that not too long ago.
Internet's really slow in hell. I didn't know that. Here, play your stupid fucking game.
For those of you who don't know, Spawn is a character created by Todd McFarlane. He's one of a number of artists that left Marvel and DC to create Image Comics. Image became huge in the 90s and released stuff like Witchblade, Savage Dragon, The Walking Dead, and of course Spawn. Before he died, Spawn was Al Simmons, an assassin who was betrayed by his superior. When he died, he went to Hell and agreed to become Malbolgia's Hellspawn and lead his army. In exchange, he could see his wife Wanda again. But the devil sends him back to Earth 5 years later as a zombified corpse. That bastard. The comic was huge and eventually became an animated series and even a feature film starring Michael Jai White and Martin Sheen. So now that we're up to date, let's play Spawn on Game Boy. That Spawn? It looks nothing like him. Spawn doesn't always wear his cape, but without it here, it looks ridiculous. The red and white M logo on his chest looks more like a corset. And why are his eyes red? He has green eyes. That's one of his defining features. How'd they mess that up? It's a standard side-scrolling beat-em-up with some platforming. It even comes with a sewer level full of bats. Yeah, that's almost a requirement at this point. Take a look at the graffiti in the alley. Shoot me? Go home? Hate? Jeez. Hey, and speaking of Todd McFarlane, did you know he did the artwork for the cover of Korn's album Follow the Leader and also the music video Freak on a Leash? So it's no coincidence that the Korn logo is all over the game. And they really overdo it. I mean, look, it's everywhere. And Spawn is the only superhero I can think of where the power meter in the game is actually based on a power meter from the comics. That was what made Spawn think twice about using his powers. Once it was completely drained, he would have to return to Hell and lead Malbolgia's army. So you have to resort to guns and fists to conserve energy. That's actually a really cool idea, and this game worked it in really well. The first boss is Clown. Yeah, they really put a lot of effort into that name. He's a demon sent to Earth to encourage Spawn to do all the wrong things to make sure he carries out his mission. In the comics, he can turn into a giant monster called the Violator. But here, he just rolls around like an idiot. If you saw the movie, you might remember he was played by Luigi Mario himself, John Leguizamo.
That Leguizamo guy's a real pest. I never really liked his interpretation of clown. He's all gross and creepy, not beautiful and sexy like moi.
If this review ends with you rolling around the room, I'm gonna be disappointed. The game does add some variety, and check out this motorcycle level. It's pretty fun. Oh, Billy Kincaid. Oh, he's a sick, twisted ice cream truck driver who likes to kill kids. Imagine a chubbier Freddy Krueger without the jokes. He likes ice cream? Well, I'm gonna make him scream and scream and scream. You know what? This game, it's not a complete steaming pile of goat shit, so that's more than I could say for most games. So, yeah, not a bad start here. The last level is a satellite station run by Heaven. Yeah, that's a Spawn thing. After killing a bunch of enemies, you have to fight the final boss, the Redeemer, also known as Anti-Spawn. He's pretty tough, but nothing I can't handle. Yeah, alright, I beat it. One game down. Wait, I was playing on easy that whole time? And I have to play it all over again?
Oh, hey, nerd. I'm just in the neighborhood checking out how you're doing. Oh, looks like you played the wrong game mode. You gotta start over. Listen to this. I got some level skip codes right here with your name on them.
Wouldn't using cheats be wrong? Isn't that a hollow victory?
Ah, you're in hell. If you cared about right or wrong, you wouldn't be here. Hey, listen, I'll just leave these level skip codes right here for you.
So I skipped ahead and landed in Hell. Spawn looks a little better now that he has his cape, but Hell looks pretty generic. Skulls, demons, rivers of blood, and velociraptor fossils. What could a velociraptor have done to end up in Hell? Clown shows up again as Violator. It's a lot cooler than his first boss fight. After him, you take on the devil himself, Malbolgia. Oh, he just tossed some other hell spawns onto his belly and he dies? That's it? How lame is that shit?
Oh, one game down! Congratulations! Well, guess what? Here comes number 2. Todd McFartland's Spawn for the Super Nofrendo.
But it's Super Nintendo. It can't be that bad. Okay, the opening cinematic is pretty cool. Oh wow, actually, this looks awesome. The music is badass, too. Why are the enemies all killing themselves? Am I playing Spawn of fucking lemmings? These controls feel clunky. Spawn's a little slow, which sucks since there's tons of enemies being thrown at me. I wish he was a little faster. Just a little bit? Oh, this game also has Spawn's power meter, so it probably wants me to try some special moves. Okay then. Oh, look how complicated these are. Hold right trigger and roll thumb down clockwise to the left, then press left trigger or the X button to do a fire blast? Are you kidding me? To teleport, you have to hold the right trigger and roll thumb in circle from up counterclockwise back to up, then press the A or Y button? What were they thinking? Even if you do the right combination, they rarely work. Each move is like trying and failing to pull off a Mortal Kombat fatality. Only then, if you fuck up the fatality, at least you know you've already won. Only here, you fuck up, you get your ass kicked. The only thing that does seem to work is the spinning kick. Most of the levels are just your standard beat 'em up, but there is some variety, like this wall jumping level where you have to avoid rockets. In theory, this would be fun, but Spawn is so goddamn slow and can't land on a ledge to save his life. Redeemer? Well, he was easy in the last game, so how hard could this be? The answer is one of the hardest, most unfair bosses ever to be shot into a Super Nintendo cartridge. It's ridiculous. First, he throws mannequins that are a pain in the ass to dodge. After that, he fires a laser that takes up most of the screen. You can't jump fast enough or glide long enough to avoid it easily. After an hour, I was finally able to knock him through the wall. Ah, yeah, so it's over, right? No, it's a multi-phase boss fight. You're outside now, so you'd think you would have more room to maneuver, but no. He still fires that fucking laser, and he can't be hit while firing it either. and then he whips out flaming swords and fireballs that lock onto you. This is im-fucking-possible. I spent hours on this fight. The skin on my thumb wore off, and that's hard to do when you have gloves on.
Oh, don't mind me. I'm just looking for Circus Charlie. Have you seen it? Oh, what's this?
Level skip passwords for Spawn for the Super Nintendo.
I'll just get rid of these. A noble gamer like you wouldn't need them.
Wait, leave them.
Oh, I thought you were above that.
I would never. But wouldn't it be more torture for me if they were there and I had to resist the urge to use them?
You're right. Good luck beating the game.
There's these weird tubes I can jump into in hell. I'll just pick a random one and see what's down there. Okay, then the final boss is some demon Malbolgia created and you kill him. Whatever, the end. Well, that game's fucking brutal. It's a shame because it looks and sounds great. The only thing not great about the game is the gameplay.
Oh, congratulations, you beat it. Time for the next game. Clowns for the VIC-20. Remember when William Shatner used to be the VIC-20 commercials? Ha! His hair's worse than mine. Just kidding. You can enter the third dimension with Spawn, the Eternal. Whoop!
That's right, Spawn merchandise. In the 90s, it was everywhere. You had the movie, cartoon, the video games, and of course, toys! So many toys! And this battle horse, it was only in 2 issues of the comics! I mean, what the fuck? Well, we're off to a lousy start. These graphics are some of the worst the PlayStation had to offer. Look how awkward Spawn looks jogging around. When you run into enemies, it triggers a Mortal Kombat style fight screen. You have to do this with every enemy. It's really annoying and made worse by the fact that Spawn moves way too slow. Well, the button combinations are simpler, but it's still kind of hard to pull them off when you're fighting.
Man, you're really pushing my buttons. You've mentioned Mortal Kombat like twice now, but not Spawn and MK11? Though, he is paid DLC, which is pretty evil, even by Hell's standards. Spawn was free in Soul Calibur 2 for Xbox. Though, that game's kinda wussy. You can't even rip off a single opponent's arm. Oh yeah, talk about the arm rip.
One move I do like that I was only able to pull off a few times is the arm rip. That's right, you can rip the arm off your enemy. This was so awesome they based their magazine ads around it. I mean, look at that. That's not at all traumatizing for a young kid to open up a game magazine and see that. It's fucking awesome. You can recharge your magic and health meter too. It drains your overall power meter, but I assume that gets refilled after each stage. And you'll need it, because with this game's slow controls, bosses like Overkill and Violator are gonna fuck you up. Luckily, you can save anywhere in the game. Let me just load my save file here. Is that Yoda with boxing gloves? It's Yoda wearing boxing gloves! That was the save icon for Masters of Terras Kasai? How did that not make it into the episode? Ah, I got him, and with only 1 bit of power left. That was close.
You are doing well, Spawn. The souls of your victims will provide much needed sustenance for the ranks of man. You have proven to be a most valuable source.
Well, I hope that wasn't important, because I couldn't understand a fuck of it. What? They don't recharge your power meter? How the hell am I supposed to beat this thing?
Oh, hey, nerd.
Enough with this guy.
Having some trouble? I'll tell you what, I'll trade you these cheat codes for that Spawn battle horse. Oh wait, never mind. You're above cheating, aren't ya?
Shut up! Shut up! Just give me the codes and get out of here.
Here you go, nerd. Thanks a lot. Giddy up!
Yeah, I'm cheating to win. The medieval Spawn levels where I noticed the game is cashing in on Tomb Raider's success. You have to look for keys, avoid booby traps, and pull off difficult jumps. And let me tell you, all the refill health and power cheats in the world can't save you from the terrible jumping. There's this one jump that I just can't get. I keep falling into lava over and over again. Fun fact, just a little piece of trivia here, that Spawn can fucking fly! This is ungodly boring. I'm now a caveman Spawn, and it's the same old shit. Slow fights, bullshit puzzles, shitty jumping, and terrible graphics. I feel like I'm in hell and haven't even gotten to hell yet in the game. When you do get there, you find out it's a giant stairway that branches off into different levels. The only thing somewhat interesting about this is that you get to fight the previous spawns you were playing as. You also get to fight a fat spawn. It might be that Billy Kincaid character I mentioned earlier, but I could be wrong. Hours later, I managed to get to the final boss, which turns out to be Violator again. I already fought him and his brothers earlier. They couldn't come up with anything else? Why not Malbolgia? He's just sitting there in the back, eating souls. Like sitting in the back of a bar eating buffalo wings. And then he dies for no reason after I kill Violator. Why can't I kick his ass or rip off his head or something?
Only 2 more to go, and the next one's an arcade game. But unfortunately, hell's a little over budget, and carrying an arcade game in here is outside of my weight class, so you'll play it on the Dreamcast.
This game is very different from the others. Judging by the huge selection of Spawn characters you can play as, I'm guessing this is supposed to be more of a multiplayer game. But the boss battle mode is focused on one player, so let's do that. Did I get the right game? 'Cause this is awesome! Seriously, this is a lot of fun and not overly complicated. You enter the stage and kill everything that moves. Simple as that. You collect some power-ups and weapons and then kill the boss when he arrives. Each stage is timed, and when you die, it shaves 12 seconds off. Best of all, your powers are simple to use and you can recharge your power meter. Finally! A Spawn game that's free from bullshit! And it's fast, too. I'm about to kill Vaporizer and beat the game. What? I gotta beat the game again? It's pulling the same shit as the Game Boy version. Well, who am I gonna find to help me beat this game while in hell?
Is somebody called the Clownster?
Sure, why not?
Stage clear.
Yes!
Well, thanks for helping me out.
Hey, anything for a friend, right? Here's the final game from your pal Clownster. See ya!
I think we hit the jackpot with this one. It starts with a Marilyn Manson song. Todd McFarlane worked on the story, and they got the best voice they could for Spawn, the animated series version himself, Keith David.
Honey, how could you?
It was easy. You're my bitch.
Spawn the Eternal might have tried and failed to be Tomb Raider and Mortal Kombat, but this game succeeds in imitating Devil May Cry. Sure, that game might be better, but if we're talking Spawn games, this is the cream of the crop. You can easily use and recharge your powers, and you have a whole arsenal of weapons. The boss fights are hard, but not unfair. There's a strategy to beating them. Well, our journey started a little bumpy, it got really rough in the middle, and now I think we're at the light at the end of the tunnel. Now let's fight that final boss. Oh no, it's Redeemer. He's back, and he's upgraded to become the legendary Metatron. The Metatron was a mythological celestial scribe and the highest of all angels. But here he's just Scorponok from Transformers. Fire everything you got and chop away with your battle axe. Yeah! I did it! I did it, Satan. I beat your games.
Fine. Looks like you've won this time.
Boss, he cheated! I found these codes and passwords in the nerd room.
You set me up!
You cheated. You didn't grow. You didn't improve. You took the shortcut and gained nothing. You two must face each other in this. The winner can leave. The loser will be sent to the worst hell ever imagined. I'm giving you teammates to make sure you play fair and square. Now go.
Whoa. Worst hell imaginable, my fat ass. Come on, Satan. Good prank. Now send me back to regular hell. Satan? Satan? You're not Satan.
Hey man, that's a nice clown costume. You want to review Spawn with me?
No! I'm sick of Spawn! I'm sick of Spawn!
Next time, nerd. Next time.
Get ready for a new nerd episode, but first, a word from this video's sponsor. Ever awaken in your coffin from your eternal slumber, only to find your castle destroyed and in utter ruins? Well, in Stunlock Studios' latest game, you'll do just that. Regain your strength and raise your castle in an ever-changing open world full of mystery to become the ultimate vampire in V Rising. Officially out now on Steam, hunt alone or play with friends as you experience a vampire survival action RPG adventure like no other. Get ready for a free crossover event where all vampires can face off with Simon Belmont himself in Legacy of Castlevania. Dodge deadly crosses and burning holy water and defeat him to master the Wicked Whip. Get the new premium pack to build your own imposing Castlevania-style palace
nice and warm. I just put.
Thank you.
Go back and enjoy, and I'm not eating out of the trash can. Shouldn't be any bad. So nice and warm. That's so sweet.
Shapeshift into Rising is out now on Steam with a PS5 version coming soon. So grab your copy now with the link in my description below. And now, speaking of Castlevania, on to the episode. 20 years ago, I said this game sucks, and then launched into a tirade dissecting all the things that were wrong with Castlevania II: Simon's Quest. Because I'm the nerd, and my mission is to warn you that lots of those old games that you look back at with sentimental longing are actually steaming piles of goat shit. Don't go near them. The thing is, at the time, I didn't know who I was talking to. It was the summer of 2004, and YouTube didn't exist yet, so I was pretty much ranting into the thin air of sorrow that lingered over my stale room of dusty game consoles and VHS tapes. In my closet, underneath a pile of socks and underwear, was a shoebox full of old NES games, and there it was, Simon's Quest. Like a call to action, I became somebody you now know as the fucking nerd. Back then, I wasn't yet the angry video game nerd. I wasn't even the angry Nintendo nerd. Episode 1, I didn't have a name or a face. I was just a voice. Just a voice in your head telling you to stay away from this filth. Was I even wearing my white shirt when I spoke those words? No, to tell you the truth, it was hot, so I wasn't wearing anything. Just kidding. So for this occasion, I'm going back to my roots when I was only a voice. Simon's Quest was released in North America in December '88. Using some Christmas money, I bought it from Toys R Us. I played it constantly, and at the time, I noticed nothing wrong. Even though I was endlessly traveling in circles, it didn't matter to me, because I was stupid. No, it was because it was a time of innocence. It was 1989, most likely, when I first played it, so by the time I reviewed it, about 15 years had passed. While publicly, 2004 is known as the beginning of the Nerds era, for me personally, it was the end of the Neolithic nostalgia age, leaving behind my childhood in a spiteful fart cloud of frustration. It was like coming out of a hangover and then realizing how much you drank the night before. Oh, those nights. It all seems like fun and games. Your judgment's impaired, you're making merry, but afterwards, your head is pounding with humiliating defeat as you begin assessing all the damage you caused to yourself. Honestly, with how many bad games there are, it's hard to imagine why Simon's Quest was the first one I picked. You all know what I picked next. That one where I had to drink a six-pack of Rolling Rock and show you my face on camera for the first time, and after I revisited it so many times, I finally beat the game with the help of my future self. I exorcised that demon, so let's move on. This time, I actually want to talk about something a little more positive. If episode 1 was a coin, this is the flip side. If I thought Simon's Quest was the worst Castlevania game, well then, what's the best? Yes, I already answered that in my Castlevania 4-part episode in 2009. I said my favorite was Super Castlevania 4, but the question now is, do I still believe that? Are any of the challengers able to claim the throne? Well, first of all, I'm talking about the retro era of Castlevania games on the main consoles. In the 4-parter, I mentioned most of them. Some would consider Castlevania 3 to be better than 4 because of the multiple characters, the forking paths, or maybe just because it came before. Those are all valid reasons, and it's totally legit if you're more of a Castlevania 3 kind of person. I replayed it, and I still have to say I favor 4. The 16-bit graphics and sound are more effective for immersing you into the spooky atmosphere. The control is so much smoother, and not to mention, you can whip in all directions. And it's not as ruthless with so much of that knockback bullshit. Some would say knockback is what makes it challenging. I say that's what makes it cheap. I mentioned Bloodlines. This would be the Sega Genesis's answer to the Super Nintendo and Konami's tradition of always making two separate versions during the 16-bit war. I can't ignore that Bloodlines gives you the choice of two different characters, and there's some very interesting level design, but in my opinion, it's not as interesting as the spinning room and all the things that happen in 4. In Bloodlines, you can't whip in all directions, and this time I don't see why not, if they would have taken one note from 4. Sure, you can whip down and also diagonally up, but only while you're jumping. In 4, you can do it from the ground. I could go down the list and say the sound effects and music aren't as good, this and that, but the whipping alone is enough to settle it for me. Once again, I stand by what I said in the old video. Bloodlines is a great game, but it's not as good as 4, for me personally. Now, it's time to talk about the one I missed entirely, Castlevania Chronicles. And it was on PlayStation, so I have no idea how I was completely oblivious to this game's existence. Perhaps I confused it with Castlevania the Dracula X Chronicles, which was the PSP version of Rondo of Blood with updated graphics. It also included the original version of Rondo of Blood and Symphony of the Night. But anyway, the Castlevania Chronicles was originally released in 1993 on the Sharp X68000 computer, exclusively in Japan. So it's no wonder I didn't know about it back then, but it was re-released on PlayStation in 2001, which is the version you're seeing right now. It's essentially a remake of the original Castlevania with redesigned stages. I beat it in less than 3 hours, so it's a nice confined experience, but I'm not gonna lie, I played it on the easiest difficulty setting possible. If I were critiquing the original release, I would probably say it's way too fucking hard, but in the PlayStation version, there's 2 modes, original and arranged. Arranged mode has some slight enhancements with graphics and sound, but most notably, it lets you adjust the difficulty and doesn't have the knockback. Now, if you want the knockback, if you're a gaming masochist and love the insane challenge, then you still have the option, and I tip my hat to you. To me, fair difficulty is very important. I don't want it too easy, but not too hard either. For me, Castlevania 4 is balanced perfectly. Chronicles isn't that remarkable since it's pretty much a remake of the first game. And while 4 is also kind of a remake in a sense, as it's basically retelling the events of the first game, it offers a lot of new stages that bear no resemblance and is much more original than Chronicles. Again, Chronicles, it doesn't have the 8-directional whipping. It's more like Bloodlines. You can whip diagonally while jumping, but in Bloodlines, it's diagonally upward. Here, it's downward. Pretty strange how they got parts of the controls right, but they just couldn't give us the whole damn thing. Not as good as 4, but it's a great game. It gives you that old school basic Castlevania experience, and it's nice to have finally played it after all those years of being oblivious. The search for the true successor to Castlevania 4 led me down an uncertain road. In my 4-parter, I talked about Castlevania Dracula X on Super Nintendo. I talked about how the whipping was a step back to the NES style, and the difficulty was rather sadistic, especially that final battle with Dracula. I lightly brushed upon the fact that this was a remake of Rondo of Blood, which was on the PC engine in Japan, but did I actually review Rondo of Blood and include it as part of my Castlevania marathon? No, I didn't. And that was a fucking shame. Ever since the PSP, there's been many ports of this game, so it's not as elusive as it once was. I finally played it all the way through on the PS4 and got 100% completion for the first time, and now I can see that Dracula X was definitely not a direct port in any way. Sure, there were some similarities, but Rondo of Blood is a very different game that, quite frankly, blows Dracula X to smithereens. The graphics and sound effects give you everything you want. The music delivers even more tracks that rank up with the most classic Castlevania tunes. and the natural feel and satisfaction of destroying enemies could never be better. Right from that opening stage, you're whipping skeletons against a fiery background before you realize, hey, that's the first town from Simon's Quest. It's like burning down the memory of a shitty game with a kick-ass game. All around, it reminds you of the other classic Castlevanias. You have a dungeon, a clock tower, even a ghost ship, and amazing boss characters, both new and old. The enemies might be a little strange. Am I seeing this? The bats are carrying swords! There's a secret character you can find, Maria. Once you find her, she becomes playable. It's a lot like Castlevania 3, where other characters join, but unfortunately you can't switch between Richter and Maria on the fly. You have to choose one or the other on the menu, which is kind of disappointing. Maria is a very powerful character, and I find myself playing as her just as much or maybe more than Richter. But man, what a bizarre character, totally out of place with the franchise. I mean, she's going around throwing cats as one of her sub-weapons. And yes, you can explain that 4 of her 6 sub-weapons are based on the 4 guardians of Chinese mythology, as if that makes throwing cats look totally normal. There's also a bunch of prisoners you can find, which are more or less Easter eggs, but none of them are playable characters.
Thank you very much, Maria.
It's nice that it gives you save slots, so unlike the earlier games, you can keep your progress. Also, if you accidentally get a sub-weapon that you don't want, you still have a chance to pick up your old one again. That's really nice of them. The earlier games would have just said, fuck you, you're stuck with it. On the other hand, the whipping is a major downgrade, even from Bloodlines and Chronicles, because now you can't even whip diagonally at all. What's the deal with that? The pause feature is a little bit dysfunctional because the music keeps playing. I don't understand the reasoning. The whole point is to pause everything. Your mom calls you or your dog starts barking at something. You want to stop and hear what's going on. So you got to pause, put down the controller, pick up the remote control, and hit mute. What were they thinking? So this is the first Castlevania game on a CD, so the sound capabilities are a major advancement. But this also gives it a field day to incorporate a lot of really weird voice acting.
Who are you, mister?
I am Richter Belmont, vampire hunter.
You proved amusing to me.
It's your fault for being so mean to everyone.
This is also the first in the series where the anime aesthetic is so prevalent. While made in Japan, I always assumed that the earlier games were going more for a Bram Stoker, Hammer Films influence, so it definitely strayed from that.
Oh, it's crumbling! Everyone, run for it!
Look at Maria's ending. If you would have shown me that screenshot, I would have never guessed that's a Castlevania game. The question remains, is it as good as Castlevania 4? Well, it's gotta be close, right? It's linear for the most part, it's old school, how I like it. The advancements such as the save slots, the opportunity to keep your old items, the secondary character, should all give it the added bonus points to overtake 4. But the stiff, horizontally restricted whip is a major setback, and for this reason alone, I do not like it as much. But there's a whole other factor that threw my decision into further question. Something so perplexing that it nearly turned my opinion into a never-ending stalemate. Nearly half the game is hidden. I thought it was kind of short until I realized there's all these secret levels I didn't know about. And when I say secret, I mean secret. It's not like in Castlevania 3 where you come to a forking path and decide which way you want to go. This is more like the cryptic bullshit you'd find in Castlevania 2. You might have to break through a random wall or hit a certain spiked ball so that it falls and opens the path below, or you might have to kill a certain enemy to reveal a switch that opens a staircase, or most of the time you have to take a leap of faith and drop down a pit that would normally send you to your doom. How would you ever know to do that without looking it up? You'd either have to fall by accident or deliberately drop down every pit you see. And here I am trying to evaluate whether or not I think Rondo of Blood is as good as 4, and I nearly miss half the game because I didn't know about all the hidden paths. I have never been more confused with my own opinion. On one hand, this means it's a much bigger game than I was going to give it credit for. It even has a cemetery stage, which I said I wished the series had more of. But on the other hand, the game is like one big giant Easter egg hunt. This is the reason I criticize Castlevania 2 so much. So what am I trying to say here? Is Rondo of Blood the best or worst? It has all the things about Castlevania that I love and hate. And if you have such a great game in there, why keep so much of it hidden? The final nail in the coffin is all the sadistic knockback shit, which is just plain cruel. Fuck. Fuck! Fuck! Nope. Castlevania 4 all the way. So, while it seems that's the end of the road, that 4 is my undefeatable champion, Symphony of the Night, I think, is worth a rematch. Just to recap things I've said before, this is the first Castlevania that said, hey, you know what? We're going to be like Metroid from now on, except for the occasional 3D. And you'll be going through Dracula's gigantic castle for the entire duration of the game. No outdoor scenes, or very little. I mentioned how every time you die, you have to endure an excruciatingly long game over screen, only to send you back to the main title and load the game all over again. Fuck that. I mentioned how I preferred the common sense challenge of 4. There's no tricks. You can't turn into a bat and fly over shit. You never have to think, which way am I supposed to go here? Which item should I use? Am I equipped properly? Should I grind and level up? None of that. You just run through and play. In Symphony of the Night, the main character is Alucard, who mainly uses a sword, so the 8-directional whipping isn't even applicable at this point. You only play as Richter in the very first scene, and as sort of a bonus after you've beaten the entire game. In fact, you even have to beat the damn game upside down before you get that far. But after so many years have passed, I found the real secret to enjoying the fuck out of Symphony of the Night. I say, beat the game, unlock Richter, and then take a break. Take a good long break and come back. Now, you're playing Castle-fucking-Vania. First of all, I wasn't aware or had forgotten that Richter had so many moves that aren't immediately apparent. It still bugs me that they never brought back the 8-directional whipping, but for some reason they still included that limp twirl or whatever you want to call that. But with all the new moves, it kind of makes up for it. Richter here is just as much fun to control as Simon. First, there's that cool little backflip thing, and then there's the sliding kick. Man, I love that. I love it so much it has become an addiction. I mean, why just walk into the next room when you can slide kick? Yeah, it never gets old. Then there's the dash attack, which is kind of neat whenever you have time to pull it off. You have to press up, down, down, forward, forward, attack. What is this? Fucking Street Fighter? Down, up, jump makes you do an uppercut, which is not just a great attack, but it also serves as an infinite jump to reach higher places. Unfortunately, it's extremely awkward to pull off. Any move that makes you hit down, up while you're in midair is fucked as hell. And I think there's a certain speed to it. You can't hit it too fast or too slow. I don't get it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But you absolutely have to do it a lot, because it's the only way you can reach certain spots, especially when the castle goes upside down again. Yes, it's like replaying the entire game, so all those spots with Alucard where you had to turn into a bat and fly, now you have to uppercut into the air over and over like a madman. You still have your sub-weapons, but unlike Alucard, Richter doesn't have any items to equip. No inventory whatsoever. But after all, that is basically what I wanted, to return to Castlevania's simpler roots, as opposed to a more complicated RPG system. Playing as Richter is an entirely different experience and is like a mandatory second half of Symphony of the Night. And in the Saturn and PS4 port, you can also play as Maria. Damn, well maybe I'll have to try more of that next time. But after fully experiencing it as Richter, I can say I definitely enjoyed it a whole lot more than the main Alucard game. Did I enjoy it as much as 4? In a lot of ways, yeah, I think so. This past playthrough was the closest I ever came to replacing 4 as my #1 favorite Castlevania game. All they had to do was this: make Richter the main game, and then have Alucard be the second half or as a secondary character. In that case, I would have found this contest to be a lot easier to decide. But even then, all the ungodly time spent reloading whenever you die is a major strike against it. Sometimes, it comes down to the simplest things. In 4, I can never forget that feeling of gratification when you land on a stairway and moonwalk, or when you latch onto something with the whip and feel that momentum build as you swing yourself back and forth. How about the appealing sound of those golden platforms and treasure chests spilling coins as you walk across them? Or the sound of the bones collapsing when you hit the skeletons? It's countless little things like that. And why is the 8-directional whipping so important? It's because it gives you the feeling of freedom. When you engage with an enemy, you can decide whether you want to strike from the air or hit him from below. Your instincts take over rather than trying to adapt to some clumsy limitation. Maybe this game spoiled me, and maybe you'd say the full whip directions make it too easy. How does the whip save you from all that crazy shit near the end, like when the giant sprocket's chasing you up the stage? It still gets pretty damn hard. The full whip controls just give you a fair chance to hit anything on the screen. You and the game are in perfect competition. No cheap shots. You're not fighting with one hand behind your back. You're in full control, so when you die, it's on you. Some things stay the same, and Castlevania 4 is still my favorite. And other things vary, such as my complex thoughts about Castlevania 2. Even though it pissed me off, I was still able to look back at it again and realize there's much I appreciate. So I can change my mind a little, but one thing I can say, if it wasn't for Simon's Quest, you might not have ever known about me, and I might not have ever known about you. Why else would I still be doing this? This battle against shitty games has been quite a ride, and all the memories created since, to me, have gone far beyond just Castlevania. This has been 20 years and counting, so Godspeed and fuckballs. Thanks for watching this episode of Angry Video Game Nerd. But before we get into it, I want to tell you about today's sponsor, ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN is a virtual mobile standards for Vic and the Wii Day Flow. Remember the Nintendo Wii? Yeah, as prophesized in my Christmas Carol episode, I would one day be dedicating a full episode to the Wii. Back in 2006 when it came out, I was busy talking about the Power Glove and how the idea of controlling the game with physical movement and game sensors was something that didn't really work out.
Now you're playing with power. Now you're playing with fucking shit.
Well, the Wii Remote was a big improvement over the Power Glove, but it definitely had its not-so-great moments. Check out Party Babies! Yeah, these babies are here to party! It takes place in a nursery with a bunch of baby party games. Now, tell me, can you imagine a nursery where they call the kids Baby 1, Baby 2, and so on? That's some shitty nursery! They don't even take the time to remember the kids' names? Not to mention, what's with the big scary monkey face? Is this a nursery or some kind of demented funhouse? So I'm the baby on the left, falling on my ass. Even with the instructions, I still can't get the controls down. Yeah, that's how the Wii is. It's all about inventing different kinds of motions. Like you might have to move it like this, or like this, or like this. And as soon as you figure it out, it's on to the next mini game, and now it's all different. Give me a chance. Like this race here, what you have to do is hold the remote horizontally and tilt it left and right really fast. Does that sound like fun? It isn't. Well, I almost made it to the next part, but then the rest of the babies all jump on these little bouncy animal things, and they leave me in the dust. The game won't let me move anymore. Stop me dead in my tracks. And now I gotta sit here and watch the rest of the race? Come on, you can't leave a baby behind. That's brutal. And when they lap me, I'm gone. What happened to the baby? That's fucked up, man. And anyone who wants to tell me this game is easy would only be admitting they're good at party babies. Then there's Balls of Fury, based on the ping pong comedy with Christopher Walken. So you just swing the Wii remote around like an idiot and try to pull off crazy moves. There's not much to say about this game, other than just the fact that it exists. Then there's Monkey Mischief, where you steal steaks from lions. Yeah, somebody had to think of that. Monkeys stealing steaks from lions. Then there's Billy the Wizard. Oh man, but you think it's a ripoff of Harry Potter, huh? Just you wait, it's a ripoff of Superman 64! All you do is fly through rings. I mean, sorry, they're hoops, not rings. All I do is run into walls and try to make giant U-turns to get myself back around. Oh, these controls suck. It would be like if Superman 64 were broken! But of all the games I've auditioned, I think the one you need to see is Per Pals. Aww. It's one of those virtual pet games where you raise a pet. First, you pick your cat. And I gotta hand it to them, the customization is off the hook. I can't believe how many different cat breeds they've included here. Oh my, they have a Turkish van. Well, that's just perfect, because I have a real Turkish van for 14 years now named Yeti. And for this occasion, I think you should meet the elusive Yeti. Aw, so damn cute. Oh, you're so soft. You're so soft, you white little fluffy piece of shit. Oh, you fucking fuckface. Anyway, the main gist of the game is to maintain the pet and keep up with her needs. Does she need grooming? Alright, well, groom that shit. Oh god, they animated the cat lifting its ass. That's what cats do, but this one looks like she just stepped in a puddle with a live wire. The way it really goes is like this. Pet your cat down the back and they raise their butt to the sky. It's almost automatic, like it's a button called butt on. You know, I looked up the reason why cats do this. It's because they want to mark you with their scent from their anal glands. Oh, God, Yeti. I like whenever you pet the cat, she sparkles. Yeah, that's right. You ever have that happen? You ever pet your cat and it sparkles? Oh, Yeti, old lady Yeti, old lady Yeti, old lady Yeti. So much fur, so much fucking fur, you little piece of shit. She can also play with a ball of yarn. Here, oh, you want this yarn? Here, go get it. Oh shit, I threw it in the tub. And the playing was so intense, it made the tub disappear. This cat never actually touches the yarn. She just runs near it and rolls around. What's this cat's problem? If the cat's hungry, you feed her. She anxiously waits by standing and clapping like she's at some dance party. Yeah, you know when you bring your cat food and it fucking dances? The idea is simple. You put the food in the bowl, right? You take the sponsored Purina can and put it in the green bowl with the arrow. Nope, that's not a food can. That's the bowl the cat eats out of. Okay, so you grab the Purina from the inventory on the left and you place it in the Purina bowl. Nope. Okay, you take the Purina from the inventory and place it in the green bowl, and then you awkwardly turn the Wii remote to pour it out. It lands in the bowl and teleports its way into the Purina bowl. Oh, and that other blue dish, never mind that. Why does there have to be so many different bowls? It would have been the simplest thing to program. Just have the food here and the dish here. And also, who puts their cat dish in the direct center of the kitchen anyway? You can even spray the cat with water. Oh, come on, really? Then there's a bunch of mini games like Mouse Hunt. You control a mouse and have to sneak past the cat without getting caught. Wouldn't it be more fun if you were controlling the cat? Besides, a mouse would never be stupid enough to get that close to a cat. But who cares about any of that? What really concerns me is the gasoline and propane tank. Who the hell lets their cat play around gasoline and propane? Doesn't seem like the safest area. Of course, it's just a game, but what raises the biggest question is, why did they design it that way? Why do they stick out so much? I have a hard time believing that they're just part of the scenery. I mean, don't they seem like props you're meant to interact with? It just leaves you with an ominous feeling. Nothing. Oh, the cat went through the tire. Of course, the cat's hanging around gases and chemicals so much, it reduces the cat's molecular density, allowing her to pass through solid matter. This cat definitely has supernatural properties. It levitates. You ever see your cat levitate? What do you think, Yeti? Then there's a golf game. Yeah, golf. You might wonder what this has to do with cats. Well, the cat has an owner, and the owner likes to play golf in the backyard. So basically it has nothing to do with anything. Oh shit, almost hit the cat. Then there's ping pong. Oh god. Oh. Oh, make it stop. Make it stop, it's killing me. I kind of thought the cat would chase the ping pong ball, you know, like cats do. But no, this cat is actually playing fucking ping pong, and it's a pro. Did the people who designed this game ever own or know a cat? That doesn't happen. Oh, but it's great. This is the stuff of fucking legend. All right, let's see what you got, cat. Let's see. Let's see what... Ah! It's a fucking creepy gnome in the background. Please, somebody tell me, why is it there? They just put a fucking gnome just looming back there. What's the reason? Who thought, hey, you know what this background is missing? A creepy gnome. This whole scene is not normal. I'd like to see a reenactment of this. You're up, Yeti. Then there's basketball. You just keep tossing balls at the net while the cat sits there and watches. Meanwhile, the gnome is standing there, turned away as if he's taking a piss. I mean, that is the universal pose for I'm facing the other way because I'm pissing. Now, what bothers me is that it seems this gnome is in a different spot than before. Now, if I had a gnome statue in my backyard and every time I looked out the window it was in a different spot, I'd be a little bit concerned. Wish that cat would do something. Come on, get that ball. Come on, you can do it. You can do it.
what kind of catnip is she on? That cat fucking slam dunked that shit! That is ingenious and totally unrealistic. There's so many other things they could have included that a real cat would have done.
There's, of course, the classic chasing of the laser pen, the game we like to call Kill the Red Dot, which is in the game, basically. But what about drinking out of the sink? That would have been a good one. Aim the cat's tongue to catch the water. I've often wondered why cats never drink the water after you fill the dish. I mean, it's the same exact water that came out of the faucet. Yeah, but what fun is the dish? I mean, they want the water to be fresh and flowing. Those picky little bastards. How about a stage where you have to open the door for the cat, but the cat changes its mind, so you have to keep reopening it? Or how about when you're trying to walk and the cat stays one step in front of you, so you gotta walk really slow? I mean, I wouldn't want to walk near somebody's legs. I mean, it's just this big giant coming at you. I mean, why do they do that? Or how about when you're trying to go down the steps, but they run past you because they gotta race you to the bottom? Or how about a stage where you control the cat leaping onto different furniture to get up high? Yeah, you've never seen a cat think so hard as to when it's planning the trajectory of its next jump. The ultimate goal is to reach the highest spot. You know, it's the King Kong complex. Climb to the highest peak to show who's boss. How about a stage where you get up out of your chair and then have to race back before the cat steals your spot? How about a target practice game where you gotta claw the cursor on the computer screen? How about one where you headbutt your owner, or one where you climb into their lap and then just sink your fucking claws in there? Or where you chase their foot under a blanket like it's a moving animal? How about one where you close the closet door not knowing the cat's in there? Now you think the cat would meow because having the door open would mean they can come out whenever they want. But no, they're not ready to come out yet, so they're gonna wait hours, then they're gonna meow because cats only think in the moment. So anyway, that's a lot of ideas right there. But no, how on earth did they come up with cats shooting arrows at hearts? It's those damn cats again, always up on the ledge shooting those hearts with an arrow. Who's holding the bow anyway? And where are the other cat's ears? Then there's a Simon Says game called Copycat, where you watch the colored lights and then copy the